Welcome back to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network as we get ready for the second game of the doubleheader today, the fourth game of the four-game series between the Presentation College Saints of Aberdeen, South Dakota, and the Bellevue University Bruins. Welcome back to John Stella Field at Brown Park, everyone, as we get ready for this finale. It's been a series, to put it bluntly, has been dominated by the Bellevue Bruins. The Bruins scoring 20-plus runs in each of the three games. Bellevue now 33-6 overall, 18-1 in North Star Athletic Association play. For the Presentation College Saints, their frustrating season continues. Still winless, 0-33 overall, 0-19 in conference play. Presentation, the home team, so on the mound for the Saints, right-hander Blake Smith. Smith 0-2 on the season with 10 innings pitched. He's allowed 11 earned runs, 10 walks, 7 strikeouts, an ERA above 10 on the season. Getting back into this one quickly, we'll give you the starting lineups as we go along. Leading it off once again for the Bellevue Bruins, center fielder Kanta Kobayashi. First pitch from Smith comes in high. We had showers come through earlier today, forcing a half-hour delay due to the 1 or 2 lightning strikes in the area. There's a called strike. We're expecting to be hit with storms again later tonight. We're hopefully going to get this 7-inning contest in before those hit. Blake Smith working exclusively from the stretch, delivers. Kobayashi fouls that one back to the screen. Starting to see some thicker clouds moving in.
For what it's worth, we do only need to get 5 in for it to be official.
Okay. 7-inning contest in game number 2. It's official if we get 5 innings in and then the rains come. Hopefully they'll hold off a little bit longer. 2-2 now. Smith with some pretty good pop on his fastball. I'd estimate that to be in the mid to upper 80s. Don't have a jugs gun in front of me, so that's pure speculation. Now 3-2, full count on Kanta Kobayashi. Got some updated stats. Kanta came into today's action hitting .401, but he raised his average now to .411 as he had 3 hits in today's first game. Payoff pitch, Kanta line hard, but right at the shortstop. Dawson Barson makes the play for the first out. Game number 1 today, 27-5. 27 runs on 28 hits, 1 error for the Bruins. 5 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors against Presentation. Next up for the Bruins, designated hitter Connor Barnett. Connor had 3 hits in game number 1, raising his average to .363. On the outside edge, called strike 1. 2-man umpiring crew, Braxton Arndt. Behind home plate, his dad, Tim Arndt, down the first base line. Blake Smith looks in, gets his signal from his catcher, misses away there. Catcher Blake Bartowski behind the dish in this one. We'll give you the defensive alignment after this next pitch. Up and away now, 2-1 the count. Across the infield, a little bit different look for Presentation. It's Colby Wakatsuma at first base, Trent White at second, Dawson Barson at short, Louis Martinez at third. Another pitch upstairs, now 3-1. Across the outfield, Evan Booth is in left field. Center fielder is Dominic Sarmiento. And the right fielder, Matthew Womack. Barnett out of play, right side. Count goes full to the Bruin designated hitter who filled that role for the Bruins primarily for the rest of the season due to his shoulder injury that prevents him from playing in the field. Hopefully be back in right field next year for the Bruins or some spot. Again, fouled out of play, right side. Temperatures lovely. We were in the upper 80s yesterday. We're in the lower 80s today. It was about 74 degrees at the start of game number 1. Another foul ball. Winds out of the south in game number 1 at about 14, 15 miles per hour. Just a little bit more gentle as we get later into the day. Right now we're at about 3:45 Central Time, and Connor Barnett works a walk to be the first Bellevue base runner in game number 2. That'll bring to the plate Jake Lacey. Jake, the team leader, and runs batted in, now up to 58 on the year. He raised his batting average 10 points, up to 367 after game number 1, where he had 3 hits and 5 runs batted in. Called strike on the outer half. Bill Mullins next to me here for this one. Sports information guy. Line foul up the third base side. Again, we continue to get texts. Thanks for those of you who are sending those in. We'll get to them here in the bottom of the inning. We got some late hubba-hubbas from Cade's family as he went yard 2 times, both of them going out to right center field. Chopper right side. That's going to be an artificial turf base hit for Jake Lacey down the right field line. Jake turns the corner at first on his way to second. The throw is not in time. The head first slide as Jake hustling all the way. We saw that 3, 4, maybe 5 times in game number 1 where Bellevue base runners earned the extra base by hustling hard right out of the box. So Barnett moves to third, Lacey at second. The batter is catcher Logan Grant. Grant with 3 home runs in yesterday's second game. Had another one today in the first game to get the Bruins started. Fouls that one out of play opposite field. Logan, 391. His batting average actually dropped 1/1000th of a point. He came in hitting 392, now down to 391. Upstairs on the breaking ball. 1-1 the count. On the outside, Black now 1-2. Logan awaits with 2 runners in scoring position. He'll get the ball at the ground to the right side. That'll score 1. Trent White on the pickup of the ground ball. 4-3 on the putout. But an RBI for Logan Grant as Connor Barnett comes home with the first run of the game for the Bellevue Bruins. So the Bruins have scored in each of the first innings in this 4-game set. Lacey advancing to third, and it'll bring to the plate Nick Gray, the Bellevue third baseman.
Batting the 5th batter, third baseman, Nick Gray.
Gray had 3 hits and 4 RBI in game number 1. The pitch from Blake Smith is wide.
We'll beat some once in a while, but
Nick raised his average to 370.
probably be sub 500 if I had to guess.
Had a home run as well in that first game.
Although I think our offense.
Bellevue had 8 home runs in the doubleheader yesterday,
At least this year.
and they had 5 more in game number 1 today. Bounced. Partowski, the catcher, took that one off of the left forearm. Looks like he's going to be okay.
They were at the Legion World Series or something. It's pretty well, I think.
1-0 pitch on its way from Blake Smith to Nick Grade. Called strike 1. Bellevue came into today's action hitting 353 as a team. That's gone up a couple more points as well as they pounded out another 20-plus hit performance. Grade a little late on that fastball up in the zone. Of the 4 starters we've seen in this series, it looks like Blake Smith has the best pop on his fastball. That one's hit to right center field. Couple of outfielders on the move. Will either of them get there? A nice running, sliding catch by Matthew Womack right in front of the scoreboard out there to take extra bases away from Nick Grade. So the Bruins will have to settle for 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. After a half, the Bellevue Bruins won. The Presentation College Saints coming to bat. Dustin Shorey will draw the assignment for the Bruins. This is Dustin's 7th appearance on the season, 6 of them as a starter. 4 wins, no losses, 1 save on the year. That came down in that big win down in Florida against Southeastern of Florida, the number 1 rated team in the NAIA. Looks like catcher Logan Grant having a little difficulty with the intercom that he and pitching coach Sean Malley uses, so they'll have to go back to the old-fashioned way of signaling it in until they can get that repaired. Dustin Shorey, 29 innings of work. He has allowed 24 hits, 9 runs, 7 of them earned. Dustin has walked 7 but struck out 38, an over 5-to-1 ratio. A 2.17 earned run average. That's among the best on the staff. So he'll get to work against his Presentation lineup. Dustin, a good-sized kid. 6'5" junior out of Chandler, Arizona. We'll get his warm-up tosses, and then we'll get to work with the bottom of the first inning. For Presentation, here's the batting order. Dawson Barson, Evan Booth, Wolf Don Thorson, cleanup hitter Colby Wagatsuma, Trent White, Louis Martinez, Matthew Womack, Dominic Sarmiento, and Blake Portalski. Here is Dawson Barson, the shortstop, to lead it off.
Leading off the Saints, the shortstop, Dawson Barson.
Barson, a 290 average coming into today's action. The first pitch from Dustin Shorey, a cut fastball called or swung on and missed. Bellevue with their gold and purple jerseys. Presentation with the black jerseys with the gold and green. Slider. Shorey ahead 0-2. Dustin shakes off the first signal from Logan Grant. Now settles on one he wants. The pitch hit in the air to right field. Over to make the play. Jake Lacey has it drop out of his glove. Running all the way hard out of the box, Dawson Barson is at second base. That'll be an E9 on Jake Lacey. Lacey has been out in left field most of the season with the injury. Had to move some bodies around, but E9 ruled on the play. So the leadoff guy on for Presentation in scoring position for left fielder Evan Booth. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. Right field is the sun field as we move along through the course of the day. Outfielders wouldn't mind if there's a few clouds to block the sunshine, but on that play, the Saints get the runner at second base. Trying to shoot a little further wide. 1-1 the count. Evan Booth, an even 300 coming into today's action. Had 2 hits, 2 out of 4. So that average will go up a little bit. Now 2-1 the count. Evan Booth and Colby Wagatsuma, the only Saints with multiple hit games. They each had 2 hits in game number 1. Fouled back to the screen. In fact, that accounted for 4 of the 5 hits. Matthew Womack, the only other, or excuse me, Womack and Martinez, Louis Martinez, each getting hits as well. So 6 hits in game number 1. Breaking ball on the outside corner for the called strike 3. Nice backdoor bend on that one for the first strikeout of the game for Dustin Shorey. 1 on, 1 out The batter designated hitter, Wolf Don Thorson. Thorson's had a couple of extra base hits in this series, including a home run and a double, hitting in the 3-hole in this finale. That one slipped out of the hand of Shorey all the way to the backstop, caroms around a little bit as Dawson Barson advancing to third. Just a little bit outside, as Bob Euchre would say.
St. Bernadette was the lowest performing Catholic school in Omaha metro area a couple years ago.
Somebody's got to come last.
Bruins will move the infield in, trying to cut down the run on a ground ball on the infield. Shorey working exclusively from the stretch. Comes set at the letters. Just a little bit too wide on that one, now 2-0.
Oh, kindergarten, first grade. I mean, we're just coloring. I remember, it's funny that shaking. I remember who did
That one's hit hard to right field. Jake Lacey out there making the play. Here's his throw to the plate. Will not be in time. So a hard hit ball by Wolf Don Thorson will result in a sacrifice fly at an RBI, and we're tied 1-1 in the bottom of the first inning. First time in the series other than 0-0 that Presentation and Bellevue have been tied. Here's the cleanup hitter, first baseman Colby Wagatsuma. First pitch swinging, popped up to the left side. Will it stay in play? Nick Grade calling for it right near the foul line. Yeah, just a step in foul territory. The fly out to the third baseman retires the side. 1 run on no hits. There was 1 error and nobody left on base. 1 inning in the book, 1-1. Our score, Bellevue Bruins and Presentation College Saints. Presentation College of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Aberdeen, South Dakota, the name of the Association of Catholic Nuns who runs the school, but they announced back in January this will be the final year for that school. Some of the programs will continue on at other institutions. So we wish all the guys on the field today and all the students and staff at Presentation College success in finding other opportunities for their education and employment. And also a tip of the cap for this team. Hasn't been a fun season being 0-33. They've been close on a couple of occasions, a couple of 1-run games and a couple more 2-run games, but that really hasn't been the case on their journey here to Omaha this past weekend. (28-6) in game number 1, 21-3 in game number 2, and then 27-5 in game number 3. Bellevue has set an NSAA record for the most number of runs scored in a 4-game set, and we're just 1 inning into the 4th. Leading it off in the top of the 2nd inning for the Bruins, left fielder Mathieu Sirois.
Leading up for Bruins, left fielder Mathieu Sirois.
Mathieu at .404 on the season. His batting average went up 2 points. Outside on the first pitch, Mathieu had a 3-run home run in the 4th inning. 1 for 2 on the day, also reached on a walk and a hit by pitch. Down low. Sirois now with 9 home runs on the year, knocking on the door for double digits. Chopper up the third base side. Martinez has to wait for the hop. The throw to first base can't be handled. Bang, bang play at first. Infield hit. E5 on the throw. Bill Mullins, our official scorer. Co-sports information director at Bellevue University, along with Steve Field. They both do a great job there in all the sports, sponsored by Bellevue University. Next up for the Bruins, first baseman Trad Richardson. Trad had a great game number 1 with 3 hits. Fouls the first pitch back. 2 doubles and a single on a 3-for-4 day.
I was late a lot.
Just kind of marching on your own clock. I hear it. That's the way to go.
Bellevue first baseman combined 5 for 6 in game number 1. Chop foul again. Cade Sakamoto came on as a replacement for the last couple of innings and promptly hit 2 home runs.
I'm the 5, like, it's either right on.
Richardson down 0-2.
If I'm not like a half hour early this year, I just start.
Trad's batting average went up 18 points from 375 to 393 after those 3 hits in game number 1. Outside, 1-2 the count.
And if you're on time and late, you're ready to go. So we all out there.
Head coach Dwayne Monlex for the Bellevue Bruins. Evan Brandt for the Presentation Saints. Line hard to the right field side. Again on the move, the right fielder. A running catch made out there by Matthew Womack to rob extra bases for Trad Richardson. Oh, a couple of nice plays on defense for the Saints.
The alternative, like, bro, you're not going to make it right. No, I'm not saying you're bad. No, I'm not bad guy. Like, dude.
As next up for the Bruins, second baseman Drew Staley. Drew joined the fun in game number 1, had 3 hits himself, batting in the 8 hole. That's where he is again today. Batting lineup for the Bruins has been pretty static over the last 3 series in conference play, called strike 1. It's been very productive. Bellevue now 7 times over the 20-run mark on the season. Good read by Mathieu Serrois, that pitch in the dirt. He'll advance to second base on the wild pitch. Bruin base runners do a nice job of getting a secondary lead. What that means is as the pitch is on its way, they get a couple of running steps towards the second base bag. Serrois read it in the dirt, kept right on going. In scoring position for Staley. Drew lays off the high fastball.
How would your time compare to our guys here? Like,
Well,
would you be one of our 5 in a cross-country race?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would have.
Drew hits the ground on a ball on the ground to shortstop. Dawson Parson across the diamond. 6-3 on the play. Serrois not able to advance on the ball hit in front of him. So it'll be up to C.J. Townsend, the Bruins shortstop, if the Bruins are going to score in this inning. Bellevue scored in each of the 7 innings in game number 1. They scored in 12 out of 14 in the series yesterday, doubleheader. Outside, ball 1. Portalski trying to frame it in the zone, but way wide. Outside again, 2-0. CJ's done a nice job filling in at shortstop when Brendan Luther, the starting shortstop, injured his finger. Doesn't look like Brendan will be returning anytime soon. Had an MRI on it last week. Breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, now 2-1.
One of my brother's ex-girlfriends was a college pole vaulter. She was pretty good. Like, for women, she was like 11, 12 feet.
Smith comes set at the shoulders and delivers. Pop foul out of play.
Ended up, he got a full ride D1, was like 17, 18 feet in high school.
That's like
He was, I think, a high school American.
17 or close high school. That's like
He was really
One run on 1 hit for Bellevue, 1 run on no hits for Presentation to this point.
Seth, his kid when I was in high school. Seth,
Off the outside edge.
he was like a 16-8 guy.
Full count
He just done what he did.
for C.J. Townsend. Kanta Kobayashi on deck,
Yeah, this kid, Matt.
representing the second time through the order for the Bruins.
And I actually met him once because we were there at the same time for a year. And he was,
Swung on and missed on the fastball. Townsend just a hair late. No runs on no hits. There was one error and one man left on base after 1.5. 1-1 our score. The Bruins and the Saints in this series finale. Coming to you on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network.
New NSAA golf poll came out today. Bellevue remained fourth on the men's side.
Good news on the Bellevue men's golf program. The Bruins are number 4 in the current NAIA men's golf coaches top 25. Kaiser of Florida, Lindsey Wilson of Kentucky, Dalton State of Georgia, Southern schools as you would expect. And then plopped here in the Midwest, Bellevue University, number 4. Couple of leftover texts from game number 1. A big hubba hubba to Cade. Attaboy. And game 4 hubbas. Go Bruins. Woohoo. Hubba hubba Sakamoto. Cade with those 2 home runs in game number 3. And we're now officially in game number 4. More hubba hubbas coming your way. Dustin Shorey back to the mound. He'll face the 5, 6, 7 spot in the presentation order. About a 6-hour bus ride awaits these Presentation College Saints at the conclusion of today's game. The batter leading off, second baseman Trent White. Nice breaking ball. That's a knee buckler from Dustin Shorey for a called strike 1.
It's Northwest Missouri State.
Like Midwest Intercollegiate Athletic Association or something.
Dustin comes to his set position and delivers on the knees. So slider fastball has him ahead in the count 0-2 against Trent White.
Probably the best D2 conference right there with California.
White, a 250 hitter on the year. Just misses off the outside edge. Great location for the count, trying to get White to chase.
In Michigan.
So there's some good schools around. There's great Lakes Valley.
Swing and a miss on that sweeping slider. Second strikeout of the game for Dustin Shorey, the first of this inning. And next up will be Louis Martinez. Dustin's kind of a short arm, 3/4 motion on his delivery. Generates a lot of power. Here's the set, the break, and bam, the ball's upon you. This time a little bit low on Martinez.
Oh, Boulder, I'm sure it's legit. They're like pretty much rock. But northern Arizona's.
Swing and a miss. Again, the big sweeping slider.
What's the appeal to you? Or do you have any idea?
Martinez 1 for 3. An RBI double in game number 1.
I've only been to the airport. I mean,
Kinda
like
close
that's
to-
my Arizona.
Like 4 hours from Scottsdale.
Ask,
And the strike 3 call. I was off on the count. The first pitch is called strike rather than ball. So back-to-back strikeouts for Dustin Shorey.
yeah, I would stay there.
Right fielder Matthew Womack made a nice running catch earlier on. His first at-bat in this one.
Every time I've been there, it reminds me of
Womack 1 for 2 in game number 1. Lays off a ball off the outside edge.
A little bit warmer though, right?
Womack from Houston, Texas. So he went a long way from Houston to Aberdeen to play college baseball. Dustin takes a little something off that pitch. 1-1 to count.
Yeah, like next year when you guys go down to Phoenix or wherever it is, like that's just gonna be desert. Yeah. Like I know it's gonna be February, but it's still gonna be like 85 degrees.
Line hard down the left field side into the corner, up against the fence on one hop. Mathieu Sirois with a strong throw to second base, made it close. But it's a 2-out double by Matthew Womack to keep the inning alive for Presentation.
Yeah, I'm gonna bend over backwards to try to get on that trail. Just for the teams you're gonna play down there.
Next to the plate, the center fielder, Dominic.
Center fielder Dominic Sarmiento to bat.
Hopefully we get to play LC.
Sarmiento has seen a lot of the center field turf at John Stella Field as he's been chasing balls to his right and left and straight back for the last 3 games. First pitch off the outside edge.
Brock throws that too. That'd be awesome. You guys are gonna have a team.
Dustin back to action after several years off due to injury.
So do you guys have
A 4-0 start on the season. That one flared to the right side. First baseman Trad Richardson, about 10 feet into the outfield grass, makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left. 2 innings in the book. 1-1 our score between the Bruins and the Saints.
Yeah, they're top 20. They're top 25. Yeah.
A new pitcher, only 2 innings for Blake Smith, only allowed 1 run.
Pitcher of the week for that one.
The new pitcher is number 24, Peyton Reese.
Yep. That was about Ryan Gosling, right?
Peyton Reese, a senior, 6'2", out of Riverton, Wyoming. He comes in as the second pitcher of the game.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
Not sure if Smith is injured or that's all they wanted him to throw. But his day is done, and now it'll be up to Peyton Reese to hold down this potent Bellevue offense.
Oh, God, yeah. I've seen that meme. It's like, yo, love Ryan Gosling, but he was an absolute liability at corner.
Peyton Reese has been in 11 games now, has thrown 22 1/3 innings, allowed 37 hits, 36 runs, 26 of them earned. He's walked 14 and struck out 22, a 10.48 earned run average.
Pronounced Reese, but
It's my wife's maiden name, Reese.
You say Reese or Reese for R-E-E-S?
pronunciation.
For what?
For pronunciation, R-E-E-S?
Reese.
Reese. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. That's how my hair looked in 1978. Wasn't blonde, but that's about the length. Mine had a little bit more curl. Back in my hippie days.
Let it flow back then.
That's right.
Man down by the river.
What a great sketch.
Down by Missouri River.
Fishing in Missouri, man. Back when you could play, too.
The first man that Peyton Reese will face is the Bruins' leadoff hitter, Kanta Kobayashi.
Leading off for Bellevue.
Kanta lined out hard his first time up, hit it right on the button, but right at shortstop Dawson Barson. I like that rhyming name, Dawson Barson. Kanta, first pitch swinging, foul tipped into the glove of the catcher Portalski. Mick Krupski back with you for the 4th game of this series. Kanta takes that one for a called strike 2. Giving my voice a workout as the Bruins will host all 7 of the conference series. Playing every weekend, usually Friday, Saturday. This one pushed up because of the incoming bad weather to Thursday, Friday. Kanta lines hard and past the glove of Barson this time. So Kanta and Dawson having a little competition. Leadoff man on once again for the Bruins. As next to the plate is Connor Barnett.
Next to the plate, designated hitter.
Just
Connor
think
Barnett.
about your bank account with all these games.
That's right. I got some spending money. My wife and I are taking our delayed retirement vacation later this fall. Runner goes on the hit and run, perfectly executed by Connor Barnett and Kanta Kobayashi. Hitting behind the runner on the ground as the second baseman went to cover. The Bruins now with runners at the corners and nobody out. Scoring opportunity for the Bruins as Jake Lacey steps to the plate.
Stepping in the batter's box.
Lacey doubled his first time up today.
Lacey.
Was stranded at third in the first inning. Presentation playing their middle infielders at double play depth. Third baseman Louis Martinez in a couple of steps. Called strike 1 on the inner half. Good take by Lacey. If he'd have swung, he'd have just jammed himself. Now he'll step off the plate a little bit further as Reese comes set about letter high. Bounced, runner from first will go down to second. Connor Barnett got a good read on the wild pitch. Kanta Kobayashi staying put at third. Actually, Kanta came down about a fourth of the way, lost his footing, and then had to scramble back. He's sharing a laugh with head coach Dwayne Monlex after that play. So now 2 in scoring position, and now Presentation will move their infielders in. Chopper, that'll score a run. White makes the grab from his second base position, but moving away from home plate, so Jake Lacey gets the job done, scoring Kanta Kobayashi on the infield ground out. So Lacey now with 6 runs batted in on the day. 5 in game 1, 1 more here. Here's catcher Logan Grant with another base runner out there. That's Connor Barnett at third. And again, Presentation will play the infield up a little bit. White, not so much. Chopper, first base side, it's fouled. Hey, nice play, Austin Alexander, the Bruins volunteer assistant coach, former player. Austin was an outfielder, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a better DH.
A Bellevue Bruin. Just 1 year, right?
2 years.
2 years, okay.
Like 1 2/3. He had to get eligible that first year.
Okay. Pitch down low, 1-1 to count on Grant. Third year as a Bellevue assistant coach. He's the young guy on the squad. Everybody else with double digits, 13 or more years of experience with the Bruins squad. 2-1 now to count. Led by head coach Dwayne Monlex. The staff won their 500th game on the recent trip to Florida. Swing and a miss.
Seems unnecessary is all I'm saying. Seems unnecessary to bring everyone on that trip.
It's just like a reward for being a part of the team all fall. I like it.
2-2 count. Grant will now have to be a little bit more protective of the zone. Swing and a miss on a curveball. The strikeout will allow the infielders to move back to their regular position. Connor Barnett still 90 feet away at third base as Bellevue third baseman Nick Grade steps to the plate. Nick flew out to right field.
Third baseman,
His first time up.
Grade.
Right fielder Matthew Womack already involved in a couple of plays in this one. Outside, ball 1. 2-1 our score. Bellevue on top. The first 3 games all blowouts in favor of the Bruins. Line hard and through. A 2-out base hit by Nick Grade makes it a 3-1 ball game as Connor Barnett comes in to score. Little hanging breaking ball. Grade didn't get it solidly at the meat of the bat, but got enough of it to get it through the gap into left field. Next up for the Bruins, left fielder Mathieu Sirois. He reached on an infield air his first time up. Again, Sirois and Kobayashi both above the 400 mark in batting average on the season. Throw over to first base, not in time. And Mathieu with some kind of ridiculous 700 on-base percentage in conference play. Reese takes a long look over to Nick Grade at first base. Breaking ball on the inside corner. Again, I hear a freight train. We never hear freight trains here. Missouri River is only about, less than half a mile to the east of Brown Park. So there's the Burlington Northern line down there. That's what we must be hearing. Chop foul up the third base side. Dwayne Monlex thought the better of trying to grab that one. Just off our screen.
Maybe in his younger days.
I believe I was the public address announcer for the Omaha Beef Arena football team when Coach Monlex played for a couple of years for the Wyoming team in the arena football. Hit in the air to the right field side. It's going to stay in the park. Womack again will get an opportunity for a put out, and he does, and the side is retired. 2 runs on 2 hits.
2 runs on 2 hits.
Excuse me, 3 hits.
Correction, 3 hits.
There were no errors and 1 man left on base. After 2.5, the Bellevue Bruins 3, the Presentation Saints 1. Ha-ha, gotcha. Simon Falcon, our PA guy. You hear his voice in the background of our broadcast. He's been working hard this entire weekend. Alec Ackerman as well, Bellevue player, injured, out for the season, running the scoreboard and his cell phone. Smile, Alec. There we go. There we go. Bill Mullins as well, sports information guy. He's deserted us. He's going to sit out on the deck and enjoy the sunshine and light breeze on this beautiful low 80-degree day. Somehow my phone, 81 degrees. There we go. A few light clouds floating by overhead. Nothing imminent looking in terms of rainfall, although we were delayed in game number 1 for a half hour by a short lightning delay. Bottom of the 3rd inning for the Saints, the catcher, Blake Portalski, batting in the 9 hole, leading it off against Dustin Shorey. Fouled right side. Kind of a small crowd on hand today on this Friday afternoon. But fans have enjoyed a lot of offense from the Bellevue Bruins. Swing and a miss. Is Shorey probably the fastest fastball on the squad, Alec?
I would say so.
Slider, cut fastball, swung on and missed.
I think him or Sally. Sally said it hit 91 a couple times yesterday.
All right. So the debate rages here in the press box. Either Dustin Shorey or Alex Salicio. Both of them can get to the low 90s. So the strikeout, the 4th strikeout of the game for Dustin Shorey. Now back to the top of the order, 2nd time through for shortstop Dawson Barson.
I think Abe does pretty hard too, but he got hurt.
Strike 1 call on the knees. Fouled back. Shorey ahead in the count, 0-2. 1 strikeout in the 1st inning, 2 in the 2nd, now 1 here leading off the 3rd for the native of Chandler, Arizona. Nice movement on that, sweeping away from the batter. Hey, good play down to the 3rd base coaching box.
I would say maybe some people may argue Bullpen. They do, yeah.
0-2 count on Barson.
I think they actually advertise it.
Chopper off the front foot of the batter. That'll be a foul ball, even though it carries all the way out to near the shortstop position. And the umpire will give Barson a little extra time to walk that one off as it went straight down to the top of his foot. Barson had 3 hits in the series opener. Had another hit in game number 2. Went hitless in game number 3. Grant sets up on the outside part of the plate. The pitch comes up and in, however. Now 1-2 the count. Barson from Logan, Utah. In tight, 2-2.
I've been there. It's cool. Yeah, I went when I was.
Did you play for Ken?
Chopper on the ground. Grade gloves it on an in-between hop. That's a tough play, but Nick makes it across the diamond 5-3 on the assist and put out. Left fielder Evan Booth next up. Booth, a strikeout victim, his first time up.
Now batting the left fielder, Evan Booth.
Swing and a miss. Dustin's done a nice job of working ahead of the hitters this afternoon. On the outside black, you could hear that pop into the glove of catcher Logan Grant. Checks his swing. Now 1-2. Booth from Phoenix, Arizona. Goes down swinging. Another 2-strikeout inning for Dustin Shorey. A total of 5 on the game for the big Bruin right-hander. 3 innings in the books in this 7-inning contest. The Bruins 3. The Saints 1. Again, if you'd like to get a text message sent in during the course of our broadcast, we've heard from a lot of great people so far. One final shout out today, 402-515-7654 is my text message number. So thanks again for those of you playing along throughout today's doubleheader and all series long. A quick look ahead for the Bellevue Bruins. They'll be back in action on Tuesday as they travel to Sioux City, Iowa to take on Morningside University. And then back to conference play for the final 2 weekends of the regular season. April 21st and 22nd, the Bruins will host Mayville State. And then the final weekend of April, the 28th and 29th, the series that will probably decide the champion of the North Star Athletic Association regular season as the Dakota State Trojans come to town. That's the 28th and 29th of April. The North Star Tournament begins on May 5th in Dickinson, North Dakota. May 15th. I'll say it right yet. May 5th through the 8th for the NSAA tournament. And then the NAIA opening round begins on May 15th. At campus sites across the country. Bellevue has put in a bid once again to host an opening round, so if we do get that, we will bring that to you again on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Here we go with the top of the 4th inning. Trad Richardson will lead things off. Richardson was robbed of a base hit his last time up. This one skewed off the top of the bat. First baseman Colby Wagatsuma, couple steps to his right to make the play, 3 unassisted on the first pitch of the 4th. Home plate umpire Braxton Arndt. What's a new baseball? A lot of times when you hit the ball right off the top of a metal bat like that, it might leave a little tear in the leather or on the stitches. Looks like it's going to be okay. He'll keep it in play.
Second baseman.
Here's second baseman Drew Staley. First pitch fastball, top of the zone, called strike 1. Drew, a little shake of the head there. I don't think he agreed with the call, thought it was a little high, but his opinion does not matter. 0-1 the count. Peyton Reese back to work. That one's low and in, 1-1. Thank you to Canada Dry Ginger Ale for getting me through today's doubleheader. What's your snack of the day, Bill? I don't see one. Didn't bring one today. All right. Breaking ball away. 2-1. Drew hit .333 last year as a Bellevue Bruin. That one clips the outside corner. .351 coming into today's game. Line hard, back up the box for a base hit. Solidly hit. Drew hustling down to first base. As Sarmiento, the center fielder, gets it in. So 1 out, 1 on with the Drew Staley base hit. Next up, shortstop C.J. Townsend. C.J. a strikeout victim his first time up.
Shortstop C.J. Townsend.
Last year, C.J. hit .267. This year, 254, so pretty comparable. Shows bunt, but fouls it into the on-deck circle. And since I've got that sheet out and in my hand, Kanta Kobayashi, on-deck circle guy, hit .439 last year, the top number in that category for the Bellevue Bruins. The long hold by Reese, now the pitch. Breaking ball, misses low. And since Connor Barnett was on the team last year, Connor hit .388. .363 this year. Popped on the hit and run, out of play. Townsend trying to protect the base runner. So Sirois, Richardson, Staley, Townsend, Kobayashi, and Barnett. All those guys were on the team last year. Lacey, Grant, and Grade, newcomers to the Bruins program this year. Again popped out of play, straight back over the top of this press box. CJ with a big deep breath as he gets back into the batter's box. That front foot right at the front of the batter's box, trying to cut down on the break of a curveball. Tries to check his swing, but can't do it. So he'll go down swinging for the second time today. And he'll hand off the bat to Kanta Kobayashi to try to keep the inning going. Drew Staley remaining at first base.
Back to the top of the order for the Bruins, the center fielder, Kanta Kobayashi.
Kobayashi has a hit in each of the games of this four-game set against the Saints. Backdoor breaking ball is a strike call. Peyton Reese comes to the set position, down low. Reese working from the first base side of the rubber. Again, tries the backdoor breaking ball, but it stays wide, 2-1. Here's a good pitch to maybe put on a hit and run. Staley, the runner at first base, has one stolen base on the year. He'll stay put. Kobayashi, a swing, opposite field, out of play. Starting to see a little bit of green on the trees that ring the field. A lot of cottonwood trees, maple trees, and some ornamentals as well. 2-2 is the count. Swung on and missed. The out will have to be recorded at first base, and it is. The strikeout retires the side. 2-3 on the putout. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Peyton Reese, and 3 in his 2 complete innings of work. After 3.5, the Bellevue Bruins 3, the Presentation Saints 1. Quick look at the NAIA Coaches Top 25 poll. We won't get all 25. Let's do the top 10. In first place, Southeastern of Florida with a 35-2 record. One of their 2 losses coming at the hands of these Bellevue Bruins. Number 2 team is Louisiana State Shreveport, 29-6. Number 3 is Georgia Gwinnett at 31-5. Number 4 spot, Tennessee Wesleyan at 28-6. Then the Bellevue Bruins occupying the number 5 spot in the coaches' top 25 poll. Number 6 is Hope International of California. The 7th spot, Mobile of Alabama. The 8th spot belongs to Missouri Baptist. Number 9, Cumberlands of Kentucky, and number 10, Weber International of Florida.
No, because he was not as funny. That was realistic. Yeah, no, I mean, that's something. Yeah, that's hilarious.
St. Thomas of Florida, who was in the number 8 spot, and the Bruins had a 3-game series in Florida. St. Thomas no longer in the top 25.
Wolfdon Thorson.
Here's Wolf Don Thorson leading it off in the bottom of the 4th inning. Popped up. Middle infielder's going out. Kanta Kobayashi, center fielder, coming in. And it'll be Kanta who will make the catch on the sky-high fly ball. 1 pitch, 1 out at the bottom of the 4th inning. Back-to-back left-handed batters for the Saints. Here's first baseman Colby Wagatsuma. It's a polysyllabic catching core for presentation. Wagatsuma caught game number 1. Blake Portalski catching game number 2. Shorey gets ahead. Now evens up at 1-1. Fouled back, 1-2. Shorey previously attended Texas Wesleyan University down in Fort Worth, Texas. Bruins and Texas Wesleyan played some baseball the last couple of years early in the season in Fort Worth. A swing and a miss, the strikeout, the second out of the inning. So Dustin keeps his streak of at least 1 strikeout in each of the innings that he's pitched. Now 6 Ks on the game.
White.
Next up for the Saints, second baseman Trent White. Just a little bit low. 325 down the lines at John Stella Field, about 380 to straightaway center. Nice sharp break on that slider. White comes up empty on his swing. White crowds the plate. Little chopper up the first base side. It'll stay in foul territory. Bruins hoping it was going to take a left-hand turn into fair territory. Now 0-2 on White. White had 3 hits in the first game of this series. Has pretty much been held in check ever since. The appeal to first base, no swing, says Tim Arndt, base umpire. Again, trying to get in to extend the strike zone. Now a full count on Trent White. Shorey tried to get back-to-back 3 up, 3 down innings. Pushes him off the plate. And now it's a full count. I thought it was just 2-2, but I thought I saw it put up 3 fingers anyway. Now it's 3-2. Okay, and so that is ball 4. Okay. So White will draw the walk to become the 2-out base runner. Confusion reigns sometime. Here's third baseman Louis Martinez, a strikeout victim his first time up against Shorey. And now Dwayne Monlux is going to come out of the dugout and say, we've only got 3. Home plate umpire Braxton Arndt put up 3-2 on the previous pitch. But the batter, Trent White, didn't go to first because he thought it was just 2-2. That's the count that I had here. But Coach Monlux is not going to win this argument either, and the walk will stand. Whether it was a 3-ball or a 4-ball walk, White, the runner at first.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. He's got the axe.
Wayne's gonna come right up here right now.
Probably.
Pop foul on the line. Trav Richardson giving chase in foul territory. He'll reach up and make a nice over-the-shoulder catch to retire the side. No runs on no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base in the inning. 4 innings in the books. We're more than halfway through this 7-inning scheduled contest. Bellevue 3, Presentation 1. Rolling Stones on the turntable, spinning stacks of wax. Peyton Reese back to the mound for the Presentation College Saints. I had a short-term gig as a disc jockey. Country Western Station, I knew very little about Country Western, but they had an opening, and so I did that for about 9 months. Kind of fun, a lot of fun. Not as much fun as calling baseball games with you guys, but
Learn all the classics like Waylon,
Waylon and Willie and the boys, yeah.
Highwayman. Yeah, I can do that. I like it.
If you're going through hell, better keep on going.
What's Churchill said something along those lines.
Ready for the top of the 5th inning. It'll be the 2, 3, 4 spots of the Bellevue order to start things off. Here's designated hitter Connor Barnett. Up twice, on twice with a walk and a single. Has scored 2 of the 3 runs for the Bruins. 3rd inning of relief work for Peyton Reese. Starter Blake Smith went 2. 2+ now for Reese. 1-0 the count on the Bruins DH. Popped up right side. Another chance for Womack out in right field. Has to come in quite a ways. And he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Four putouts in right field by Matthew Womack as Jake Lacey steps in. Lacey with a double and an RBI ground out. His first 2 at-bats in this one. Open stance, then he'll close it up as the pitch comes on its way. The pitch off the edge, ball 1 count. Wide away, 2-0. Here's a pitch where Jake can sit sweet on his favorite pitch in his favorite spot. Hacks a curveball down the right field side. Now 2-1 the count. Jake comes to the Bruins after playing his JUCO ball at Miles Community College.
Where's that at?
Good question. Chop to third base. Martinez with a nice charge on the play off the high hop. 5-3 on the putout. He's from Wyoming. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Mr. Google. Where is Miles Community College?
Batting in the cleanup spot, catcher.
Miles City, Montana. So just across the border. Here's Logan Grant trying to keep the inning alive. Bellevue has not gone down 1, 2, 3 in any of the games, in any of the innings this series, and that streak will continue as Logan Grant reaches out and spanks one into right field for his first base hit of this game to go along with a ground out RBI his first time up. So Logan Grant, a hitting machine. Takumi Maeno will come in to courtesy run at first base as Nick Grade steps into bat. Grade an RBI single his first time up. Let's see if the Bruins try to move Takumi Maeno on a steal or possible hit and run. Trent White shifts A little bit to the first base side of his second base position. Maybe trying to take away the hit and one opportunity. They'll have shortstop Dawson Barson cover second on a steal attempt. Reese comes set at the letters, and that one goes off the helmet of Nick Gray. A glancing blow, but still a hit to the head nonetheless, so that will get Bayano to second. 3 hit by pitches in game number 1. That's the first in this one by presentation pitching. So 2 out, 2 on for left fielder Mathieu Sirois. Here'd be a good opportunity for Mathieu to lose another one over the fence. Breaking ball clips the outside corner. Strike one call. Mathieu with a long look down to head coach Dwayne Monlex. Mathieu gets his feet set and that little shake of the hips to get himself ready. That pitch on the inner half, strike one, or excuse me, strike two. So Sirois has to go to protect mode here. The set by Reese. Mathieu fouls it out of play opposite way. Oh, 0-2 the count.
Can't see the board.
Second baseman Trent White trying to keep Takumi as close to second as possible. Mathieu swings and misses. The strikeout retires the side. The Bruins leave 2 on. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 left on base. We're through 4.5. The Bruins 3. The Saints 1.
Correction, 1 hit, 2 left on. Heading the ball to 6.
7, 8, 9, part of the order coming up for a presentation as we get into the second half of this game. Womack, Sarmiento, and Portalski, the 3 men to be faced by Dustin Story in this bottom of the 5th inning. Womack wrestles with his batting gloves. Now he steps in and gets ready to go. A little groundskeeping with his spikes as Dustin Shorey looks in, gets the signal from Logan Grant. Here's the first pitch to the bottom of the 5th. In the zone for called strike one. Nice little slide piece once again for Shorey. Off the outside edge, 1-1 to count. To left to the shortstop side, C.J. Townsend on the move. To his right, he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Womack now 1 for 2 in the game. Next up, center fielder Dominic Sarmiento. Popped out to first base his first time up.
Stepping into the batter's box.
Blake Portalski on deck for the Saints. Much more competitive game 4 in this series than the first 3. Off the outside edge. Has to make the Bruin coaching staff at least a little bit nervous. Bellevue not taking the Saints lightly. The Saints still plugging away, trying to pick up their first win of the season. Outside once again, now 2-0. Sarmiento, a sophomore from Victorville, California. That's wine country up in Napa Valley. Breaking ball in the zone, 2-1. Nice pitch behind in the count by Dustin. Looks in once again. Hit down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble, but it's not. It's a foul ball about 2 feet off the white line going down that way. Jake Lacey giving chase. Count evens up at 2-2. Breaking ball, fouled back. The Bruins have used some relievers in this one. Jacob Pubil and Nate Smith in game number 1 after Alex Alicio got the start. Elijah Borson in game 2 after the start by Blake Crippen. Swung on and missed for the strikeout. Now 7 Ks on the game for Dustin Shorey. In game number 1 today, the Bruins used Jared Eifler and Kenji Miller in relief of Easton Britton. It's been all Dustin Shorey in this one. The batter, the catcher, Blake Portalski. Swing and a miss, comes up late on a fastball. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball, 0-2. Got to be tough. Right as the sun's peeking out from the clouds, you get a change of speed and change of direction on the pitch. And a 3-pitch strikeout. Dustin Shorey picks up 2 more strikeouts in the inning. Now 8 in the game. Another 3 up, 3 down inning. 5 innings in the book. It's official. 2 more innings to go. Bellevue up by a score of 3-1. Fist bumps, for Dustin Shorey as he heads back to rest in the Bellevue dugout. Peyton Reese with a strong performance in relief for presentation back to the hill. Both teams with 6 more outs to try to manufacture some more runs.
That brings us to the top of the 6th inning, folks. Swipes around like a snipe, like a, when you swipe them, swipe past. Sweep of an inning.
7, 8, 9 part of the Bellevue order due up in the top of the 6th inning. Enjoying a beautiful spring day in the Midwest. Yeah, after the little, there was like just 1 or 2 little rumbles of thunder that came rolling through at about 1 o'clock or so that forced a half-hour delay till the lightning cleared the area.
Classic Midwest.
There's a little spring shower, dampened the ground a little bit, then went away. More heavier rain on the way tonight. We need some rain, so we're not complaining about that. Just have it occur later on.
For BU, the first baseman, Trad Richardson.
First baseman, Trad Richardson, first to bat in the 6th. Breaking ball, breaks down out of the zone. Peyton Reese back on the hill. Wyoming native against Montana native here. 2-0.
Both only have 5 gas stations in 2 states.
Way wide, so a 3-0 count. Expect Trad to take one here. Although he's been swinging a pretty hot bat as of late, maybe he'll get the green light. As again, the sun shining off the back of his shoes, kind of that metallic gold material, whatever it is. He is taking all the way. It's a called strike at the knees, 3-1.
I do that in, what's that desert in, like, California? Mojave?
On the knees once again, the count goes full.
Death Valley? Death Valley, maybe. But I remember there was a sign that was like, you need to make sure.
Trad with that front foot up near the front of the batter's box. The payoff pitch, chopped on the ground to third. Martinez on the short hop, throw across the diamond in the dirt, but picked out nicely there by Colby Wagatsuma to save the air. 5-3 to start the sixth inning. Next up, Drew Staley. Drew had a single his last time up, 1 for 2 on the day.
Drew Staley.
Drew had 3 hits in 7 plate appearances in game number 1. Takes the pitch inside. The number 4 on his uniform, matching his position number at second base. Upstairs. Reese fell behind Richardson to start the inning, but then came back behind 2-0 here against Staley. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Salt Lake City is the home of Drew Staley. Drew with a solid smash to left field through the hole. 5 hits on the day for Drew. So the Bruins have a base runner on with 1 out. C.J. Townsend steps to the plate, but will have a pinch hitter instead. This will be number 36, Eric Anderson, to pinch hit for C.J. Townsend. Expect C.J. to re-enter the game at shortstop. Anderson had a walk and an RBI double.
Bellevue, number 36, Eric.
Coming in late in game number 1 today. Anderson, the Bellevue guy, played his high school ball at Bellevue West. Flag out on the pole in center field, gently wafting towards left center. The first pitch by Peyton Reese, up too high. 3 runs on 7 hits for the Bruins. 1 run on 1 hit for the Saints.
Grew up in Old Town Bellevue, according to Alex.
He did. I was just at his house this week.
Old Town Bellevue guy, in fact, says Alex. Down there near Mission Avenue. Died in the Wool, Bellevue. Upstairs. Bellevue, the oldest city in the state of Nebraska. Log cabin down there, was that on Hancock Street, I think?
Across the street from Washington Park.
Washington Park down there, yes. On the steal attempt, it'll be a steal. So the runner in scoring position. That's Aaron Gardner, who went into to pinch run for the Bruins. Aaron gets the steal. Caught me sleeping until I saw the number 2 on the jersey as he picked himself up off the bag.
I found this book, Nebraska history. It's like a missionary, French missionary reported.
Bounced away. Here comes Gardner on his way to third. The throw will not be in time. So first a stolen base for Aaron, and now advancing on the wild pitch. He's 90 feet away as the Bruins look to try to plate an extra run on the walk to Anderson. He's down at first base. And we'll have the re-entry. C.J. Townsend back into the game. He'll be the runner at first. Aaron Garner, the runner at third, and the batter is Kanta Kobayashi.
At the top of the order, the center fielder, Kanta Kobayashi.
Wagatsuma will hold the runner on at first. Martinez at third will play in a couple of steps. Middle infielders at double play depth. Kanta, a very hard guy to double up. First pitch, a backdoor breaking ball for a called strike one. Kanta 1 for 3. Townsend with a huge lead off of first base, but comes back as it's blocked up by Pertalski, the catcher. Final 2 innings of this game. Bruins would like to add some more insurance. The squeeze play is on. Out in front of the plate. The slide at home. Good hustle. Safe call at home. Aaron Garner got under the tag of Portalski, the catcher. On the play, C.J. Townsend advancing to second. It'll be a fielder's choice for Kobayashi. Does Kanta get credit for a sacrifice on the play? Okay. Oh, the Bruins now with a 3-run lead at 4-1. Great slide, good hustle by Aaron Garner coming down the line on the suicide squeeze. So runners at first and second for Connor Barnett. Breaking ball, called strike one. Say Dave Denley, women's basketball coach. Been at the ballpark today, enjoying some good weather and some good baseball. Fastball misses away. Nobody throwing in the presentation bullpen. It's up to Peyton Reese to get out of this situation. 1 run in the 6th inning. 2 on, just 1 out. Breaking ball hits the inside corner for the called strike. Connor shakes his head in disagreement. Dwayne Mollix, a couple more signs. With a 1-2 count, probably not a situation where the Bruins are going to do anything other than try to let Connor hit the ball somewhere. Right back off the kneecap of Peyton Reese, deflected over to third base. Not in time. That one's going to sting for a little while. Peyton Reese took it off that front kneecap on a hard hit ball. That'll be an infield single for Connor Barnett to load the bases. Looks like Reese is going to be okay. Nobody out of the dugout to check on him, but just a self-defense play. Couldn't quite get the glove down there in time. Peyton shakes his head that he's going to be okay. He'll be okay for a while, but when that starts to swell up, he'll feel some stiffness and hopefully not too much pain. Here's Jake Lacey, the right fielder, with a chance to blow it open for the Bruins. 4-1 lead for Bellevue right now. Double play depth up the middle on the infield. Breaking ball misses inside. Townsend at third, Kobayashi at second, Barnett at first, Lacey at the plate. Situation where you want your leading RBI guy. Down low. Two balls, no strikes to count. On the outside black now, 2-1. A big cloud temporarily blocking out the sun on this pitch. Hit in the air to center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run is in easily. Here comes Kobayashi rounding third. The play at the plate is not in time. Townsend and Kobayashi score. Jake Lacey, another delivery at a big time for the number 3 hole hitter. Delivers the single to make it now a 6-1 game. Bruins have put up a 3 spot in this inning. So Barnett at second. Lacey at first. The batter will be the catcher, Logan Grant. So Lacey now with 60 runs batted in to lead the team. The next closest Bruin is Logan Grant with 45. Grant shows bunt, pulls it back, takes it on the outside corner for a called strike 1. So Lacey continues to add to his RBI total. Way wide on that delivery. This has been a pretty tight contest. 1-1 through the first 2 innings, then 3-1 for the next couple. Chopper to second base. White goes to shortstop for 1. The relay to first is just in time. A 4-6-3 double play gets the Saints out of the inning, but the Bruins do pick up 3 runs.
3 runs on 3 hits.
On 3 hits, there were no errors and 1 man left on base through 5.5. The Bellevue Bruins 6, the Presentation Saints 1. Bang, bang play at first base, but the double play turned by the Saints. Dustin Shorey back on for his 6th inning of work. Has a few more clouds coming in overhead. Stay away, rain, rain, stay away. At least for 2 more hours, huh? Give us all a chance to get back home. Good hustle by Nate Springer. He was catching down the bullpen, ran all the way hard from down the right field corner, slid into home plate to get the warm-up pitches for Dustin Shorey. As Logan Grant out on that bang-bang play at first. Now returns, a shake of the hand with Nate.
There's a worse life out there.
Presentation will be at the top of their order in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bellevue has not used their leading saves guy out of the bullpen, Teron Williams. So he would be available if Shorey needs some help. Teron with 3 saves on the season. But so far, Dustin has been pretty much in control of this one. 1 run on only 1 hit. That hit by Matthew Womack in the 2nd inning. Here's shortstop, Dawson Barson. Lays off the breaking ball off the outside corner. There's a strike. 1-1. Let's see if Presentation may be taking a strike in this 6th and 7th inning, trying to coax a walk. And that hits Barson on the front leg up in the thigh area, so he will be the base runner. First hit batter of the game by Shorey. Only given up 1 hit, 1 walk, and now 1 hit batter. Left fielder Evan Booth has struck out both times against Dustin. Back to the net. 1 strikeout looking, 1 strikeout swinging. Foul tipped at the plate, 0-2. Shorey still with good pop on his fastball. 66 pitches for Shorey.
Not till we get a friggin' press ball.
Left field, off the glove of Nick Grade. Just tipped off the webbing. So the second hit of the game for the Saints. 1 for 3 now for Evan Booth, and Presentation has a threat in this bottom of the 6th inning, trailing by 5 runs. Here's Wolf Don Thorson. Flew out to center his last trip.
Batting third, the designated hitter, Wolfton Thorson.
First pitch called strike on the outside edge. Nice location on that pitch from Dustin Shorey. Line hard follow. Hello there, base coach. That's why coaches wear helmets down there. Had a tap dance out of the way. I believe that's Carson Dobus coaching first. Either he or Matthew Vallon. Lined. C.J. Townsend will spear it, and the Bruins will get the double play. A little bit of bad base running there by Dawson Barson. Thought it was going to be in for a hit. So he's doubled off on that combination of Townsend and Staley. Oh, now with 2 outs and runners at first, Evan Booth, the batter. First baseman, Kobe Wagatsuma, and he'll take that one off the front leg. So 2 hit batters in the inning. So again, runners at first and second, but now with 2 away. As Logan Grant's pants are dirty on the front and the back, up and down. Sign of a hard-working catcher. Shorey. First pitch wide to Trent White, the second baseman.
Next time Dwayne tells me we're not going to hit 80 or 100 home runs as a team, I'm just going to ignore him.
Foul back off the net. 1-1 the count.
We don't necessarily have the same power yet last year as a lineup, but they're plugged there, especially playing for us. He undersells it.
This guy, he's hitting like 350, but this guy, he's kind of slumping right now. He's only hitting.
White awaits.
He's like, yeah, let this guy's hit 350.
Swing and a miss. Good sweeping movement on that breaking ball from Shorey. Ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blocked up again. The nice lateral movement by Logan Grant behind the dish. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on.
But we probably won't get it back though this year. From the sound of it. He was going to be like one of your top bullpen arms, I thought.
The strikeout retires the side. Fastball right down the heart. Got Trent White looking. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 men left on base in the inning as we head to the 7th and final frame. Bellevue 6, Presentation 1. Peyton Reese back to the mound for Presentation. He's been one of the more effective pitchers in this weekend series.
Great. I knew exactly where you're going.
Which part?
I didn't say banjo.
Not that far.
From north of the border, one more text. Hi again, great broadcasting. Thank you. You asked what was our snack of the day? Mine was split with urgent issues at work. Quick sandwich and, of course, great baseball games. Go Bruins! From Mathieu Sirois family up in Quebec. Glad you're with us once again. Yum, yum, quick sandwich. We were treated to some sandwiches here between games, sandwiches and brownies. We appreciate that. Never met a sandwich I didn't like. Bellevue will have the middle part of the order. Third baseman Nick Grade will start it off. Nick 1 for 2, plus a hit by pitch. Looking to see if we have a defensive change for presentation. I don't see anybody different. Well, if it comes up, we'll let you know.
No signal.
Yep. We'll go with what we got. Popped up. Shallow center field. Sarmiento didn't get a quick look at it. Second baseman Trent White way out into center field. Almost got the tackle on Sarmiento. Dominic will make the catch for the first out of the 7th inning. Man, he covered some territory to get out there.
That is the 6th spot. The left fielder, Mathieu Sirois.
Here's Mathieu Sirois. 0 for 3 in this one. Breaking ball misses away. I just figured out who the defensive substitute is. Here's the pitch. Mathieu popped up. Will it get out of play? Yes, it will. Now playing second base for presentation, number 1, Gavin Lim. He was the guy that was way out there in center field. Lim was the starting pitcher in game number 1. He's in now in the 7th inning at second base for Trent White. Two and 1 the count on Mathieu. Or Matthew, if you prefer the English version of his name. I made sure I got it correct. Talked to Mathieu before the first game, home game of the series, and he said, yeah, he likes the Mathieu Sirois pronunciations. That one's hit just underneath that sky-high fly ball to the left side of the field. 3 players giving chase. Watch out. And it's the left fielder coming on to make the play. Evan Booth stayed with that as the shortstop and third baseman peeled off, avoiding the collision. So fly ball outs on the first 2 batters in the 7th inning. Trad Richardson steps to the plate. Again, I'll say Bruins were not retired in 1-2-3 order at any inning of this 4-game set. There's an opportunity right here in the last inning of the series unless Richardson can reach. Breaking ball for a called strike. Breaking through the zone over the outside edge. About a 6-hour bus drive for the Saints to head back home from here to Aberdeen.
Between 5 and 6, depending on traffic and weather.
Lined against the screen. Straight up Interstate 29.
Head west of Watertown.
Yep. Probably a little supper break somewhere along the line. Or sack lunches in the bus. Yum, yum. Line hard into the left center field gap. That's going to be another extra base hit for Trad. He rounds first on his way to second. Sarmiento will get it back in, but the Bruins avoid a 1-2-3 inning in this entire 4-game set as Trad Richardson, his first hit of this game, after 3 hits in game number 1. Next up for the Bruins, second baseman Drew Staley. Drew is 2 for 3 with a run scored and a stolen base.
Now batting the second baseman.
Oh, excuse me, Aaron Gardner got the stolen base running for Drew in that last inning, which the Bruins put up 3 insurance runs.
I get it.
First pitch, strike 1 at the knees.
I wasn't like that because I figured first pitch fastball is the best chance you're going to get a fastball. Ambush a pitch, get a double.
Breaking ball stays up. Wayne Monlich's hoping to get one more run across the plate. Staley with that line drive in the left center field. Here comes Richardson rounding third. He will score easily on the RBI base hit by Drew Staley. So the more insurance, the better. And now 7-1 on the scoreboard. 7 runs on 11 hits for the Bruins. 1 run on 2 hits for the Saints. As C.J. Townsend back to the plate.
C.J. Townsend.
0 for 2 officially with the walk. Runner goes and bonked off the helmet. The second Bruin to be hit in the helmet in this game. Staley will be at second. He won't get credit for a stolen base, but C.J. Townsend heads down the first. That must have been in the last game where somebody got hit in the helmet. I don't see a hit by pitch here at all. So,
That was the second one of this game.
so runners at first and second for Kanta Kobayashi. First pitch swinging is short. Over to the quick way to second base. The play made by Dawson Barson. And on the fielder's choice, the side is retired. But Bellevue does pick up 1 additional run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. As we head to the last half inning of this 4-game series, it's the Bellevue Bruins 7 and the Presentation College Saints 1. Dustin Shorey will head back to the mound for the Bruins, trying to get the complete game victory. This is the 6th start of the season. Dustin does have 2 complete games under his belt already as he tries to shut this one down.
With that last hit by pitch, Bellevue takes over sole possession of 10th in the NAIA.
Bellevue's the number 10th team in the NAIA in terms of that hit by pitch category. I guess that's something to be proud of. You're not afraid to wear one for your team.
Number 10.
Just over 200 baseball teams in the NAIA. Scroll down the bottom of that list, we'll find out exactly.
201, but they close, so they don't exist.
Okay.
We'll call it 200.
200, right on the nose.
Missing some stats for some of them, so don't know what that's about.
Yeah, at least 200 on the list. How many of them are actively playing? Here we go. Last chance hotel for Presentation College. Leading it off, third baseman Louis Martinez. As the sun shines brightly once again, peeking through the cumulus clouds that are starting to build into the area. Swing and a miss on the nice breaking ball from Shorey. Home plate and draw a line into the hole out to left field in the shade. The pitcher's mound and everything east of there in the sunshine. Chop foul up the third base side, now 0-2. Shorey with 9 strikeouts in the game. Line hard and through the hole for a base hit for Louis Martinez. Well, Martinez kind of a light-hitting guy in the order, but he's stung the ball a couple of times in this series. Next up, right fielder Matthew Womack.
We're now number 2 in hitting in the country.
Right fielder, Matthew Womack.
Yeah, behind Oak Wesleyan.
Bellevue, the number 2 team in the NAI in terms of hitting, behind Oklahoma Wesleyan, former MCAC conference mate before that conference disbanded.
Number 6 in slugging.
Number 6 in slugging. That one's hit down the left field line, but it's going to hook foul. Heads up down there coming into the park.
Number 7 in home runs.
Number 7 in the NAIA in home runs. As Bill's letting his fingers do the walking across the keyboard. Womack awaits the next pitch from Justin Shorey. Hit on the air to center field. Kanta Kobayashi only has to come in about a step or two to make the catch for the first out of the inning. 2 outs remaining for presentation. The next batter, center fielder Dominic Sarmiento.
Now batting the center fielder, Dominic Sarmiento.
Line drive, get up, Drew. Not quite tall enough to get that one down. Rounding second on his way to third is Louis Martinez. The throw will be cut off, so Dominic Sarmiento with a solid single to right center field keeps the game going. As we'll have a pinch hitter for presentation. Hitting for catcher Blake Pertowski, number 29, Colton Schusted. Schusted saw action in the first doubleheader yesterday, came on to pinch hit as well
29, Colton Schusted.
in game number 1 today. Two outs away from a complete game victory for Dustin Shorey. Off the outside edge, Schusted able to hold up his swing. Schusted from Braham, Minnesota. A little bit tight, 2-0.
Peak athletic performance right there.
That dude's, he was like,
Bruins with a 6-run lead in this one, going for the 4-game sweep.
That big and you can play like
There's a breaking ball in the zone.
he played pretty good first base.
See the kid then Little League video?
Bellevue with 4-game sweeps of Viterbo and Valley City.
Big Al.
4-game sweep over Dickinson, 3-1 versus Waldorf. And looking for the 4-game sweep here. The appeal on the check swing, no swing.
2-1.
3-1 now the count. On the pinch hitter, Colton Schusted.
We have the same 40 times.
Fouled out of play, the count will go full.
The only difference is I tear my hamstring at yard 28.
Swung on and missed. The curveball from Dustin Shorey. The strikeout, 10 on the game. Double digits. He had 11, I believe, last week against Waldorf.
Confirm that, but I believe you're right.
That was a career high for him.
At the plate, the shortstop.
Dawson Barson, 10 last week.
So match his career.
So he matches his career high with 10 strikeouts today. Dawson Barson, the last hope for the Presentation College Saints. Runners at first and third, now 2 out. Boston was hit by the pitch last time up. Fouled out of play, right side. One more to chase down up on the hill, south of the ball field.
Scheduled Friday, Saturday.
On the ground, Nick Grade cuts it off, going into the hole, the sidearm sling, and this one is in the books. In the 7th inning, no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. Our final score, the Bellevue Bruins 7. The Presentation College Saints won. 7 runs on 11 hits, 1 error for the Bruins, 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error for the Saints. With the victory, the Bellevue Bruins are now 34-6 in their 40 games on the season, 19-1 in the North Star Athletic Association. With the loss, Presentation still looking for their first victory of the year. We wish them success in getting that somewhere down the road. 0-34, 0-20 in the North Star Athletic Association. The Bruins make a line out on the field, congratulating their teammates. Pretty soon they'll come over and do the same with Presentation as the coaches conferring on the side. For Dustin Shorey, another complete game victory, now 5-0 on the season for Dustin. For the Bellevue Bruins, the regular season continues on Tuesday in non-conference action. The Bruins will head up to Sioux City, Iowa to take on Morningside University. Morningside defeated the Bruins here at John Stella Field a couple of weeks or so ago in a slugfest, 14-13. So the Bruins hoping to return the favor by winning in Sioux City. Regular season, 2 more weekends. Next Friday, Saturday, Mayville State comes to town. 1 o'clock doubleheader on Friday, noon doubleheader on Saturday. And then the final weekend of April 28th and 29th against Dakota State in what looms as the battle for the North Star regular season championship. Thanks once again to everybody who listened in this afternoon, especially those who sent in their text messages that help make our broadcast especially fun. Thanks again to Bill Mullins for his work beside me, who's feeding me with information. Chris Williamson, again, thanks for your help in game number 1. Simon Falcon and Alan Ackerman working on the other side of the press box for their great work today as well. For Athletic Director Ed Lahotek, baseball coach Dwayne Monlix and his staff, Mick Krupski signing off. See you next weekend for more exciting Bellevue baseball on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network.